21-20, last play of the game, overtime. All that was at stake today. Oklahoma loses the Armed Forces Bowl to Navy 21-20. Ryan, this game had a little bit of everything. Oklahoma jumps out to a 14-0 lead. Navy comes all the way back with a 95-yard touchdown run. They lead 21-14. You go into the final drive of the game. Michael Hawkins leads the Sooners into the end zone. They can't cash in the two-point conversion. What a game, and what a rotten season for Oklahoma football.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm not sure there's going to be a ton of words written on the website, OklahomaSoonersOnSI.com, about this game in particular, because what was it, John? It was the perfect encapsulation of this 2024 season. Yep. Really the Brent Venables era so far. Mm-hmm. Oklahoma goes out and does what you're supposed to do against a triple option team. Go up 14-0, get the ball back. You go up 3 scores. Blake Horvath, who was tough, had some fantastic runs today, but was not super accurate. He was going to have to drop back and throw over and over again. Instead, the Sooners come up empty. They stall. No points offensively until that 2-minute drill at the end. And what happens, John? Oklahoma throws away a 14-0 lead. Oklahoma, opt-outs and all, portal, I get it. Yep. Showed early. They were more talented, at least, than Navy. And Oklahoma loses, doesn't get the 2-point conversion, can't recover the onside kick, which there should have been a sideline warning, which should have been, if they recover it, maybe they kick a field goal. All that, John, for the second time in 3 years, Brent Venables, 6-7, first coach since 1998. John Blake, first coach since John Blake to finish with a losing record 2 of his first 3 seasons at Oklahoma. And this now ushers in an off-season of soul-searching, all that. If Brent Venables doesn't turn this thing around, he's not going to make it through 2025.
John Blake never came close to a bowl game. Brent Venables is now 0-3 in bowl games in his career. 6-7 2022, 6-7 in 2024. That's not what Oklahoma football is about. You mentioned the transfer portal. You mentioned the defections. Oklahoma comes into this game with 56 scholarship players on the roster. I counted in the first half alone 9 true freshmen that played on offense. A handful played on defense. The team was young. The team was inexperienced. They were going up against a bunch of, submarine, sailors.
Badasses. American troopers.
Guys who are 22 years old, 23 years old. They're seniors. They're going after the military service. I called the game almost exactly. 3-point win for Navy. I think I called it was a 1-point win. Both teams missed a field goal. The fumble that Michael Hawkins had that led to the missed field goal. I mean, there was opportunities for both teams. The passing games, both were dysfunctional. One, Horvath from Navy overthrew like 4 receivers for touchdowns, and Oklahoma returned the favor by dropping 7 passes in all, including 3 that might have been touchdowns. Just a little bit hard to watch, Ryan.
Yeah, it was. If we had previewed, and we talked about it yesterday, how this goes, how you lose to a triple option team, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. I think that it would have been okay. It's bad, into the bad season, but how today happened is really the head scratcher, the thing that's going to infuriate Oklahoma fans and should infuriate Oklahoma fans. It's the fact that you had the start. You had Michael Hawkins Jr. for the second touchdown. It's designed to roll out to the left. Both receivers are covered. What does he do? Finds time, works back, finds Zion Kearney, one of those freshman wide receivers who hasn't done much this year, who breaks a tackle, 56 yards. You're going, okay, that's the growth. And then it all went away. Kearney had a couple of drops, Sam Franklin had a couple of drops, Zion Reagan's had a couple of drops, and Sawchuk, your experienced head, adds one more to kind of do it in, and it just looked like it was the big plays for the defense. It was offense that whole second quarter on, you're sitting there going, what the heck is happening? It's not that Oklahoma lost the game, John. It's how you lost the game. If you throw away a 2-touchdown lead against a triple option team, you shouldn't be going over an offseason, much less what Brent Venables is going to do. And it's not like they've got a factory line of LSU transfers and Alabama transfers ready to take over and populate this roster. They've raided the FCS, John.
I'm not comfortable with how the roster looks. The roster growth, the roster evolution for 2025 looks for next year because of what Ryan just said. 6 of the 9 guys they've gotten so far from the FCS division. They've got an FCS All-Star team coming to Norman to help solve some of the problems that we saw out here today and all season long that led to a 6-7 season. So you're in the SEC next year. The schedule gets harder. Good luck with all that stuff if you're Oklahoma football. Brent Venables has a lot of things to fix. Where does he start?
he's going to have to look at his offensive coaching staff again, I think. It was asked of him after the game and Brent Venables said, it's all on me. I'm the coach. I own it. It's an embarrassment. He used that word again. He was asked about the rest of his staff, obviously not Ben Arbuckle, but Joe John Finley, DeMarco Murray, and Emmett Jones, basically. The guys that have recruited, and for Emmett Jones, I know his room was hurt, but the tight end and running back, there have been puzzling questions there. You're going to have to do something with the tight ends. Devon Mitchell, I know he's reclassified. At one point, was a five-star caliber talent in the 2025 class, moved up to 2024. 0 snaps for Devon Mitchell. 0 snaps. Brent Venables believes they've recruited really well. Where are we seeing that at wide receiver? You saw the growth from the left side of the offensive line. I guess this offensive line got stuffed on 4th and short twice. One basically in the red zone, one at midfield. So is that really what you want by Navy going into the SEC? That's where it's got to start. It's too late to fix the portal plan now.
Right. And spring isn't going to bring anything.
And
you got to reduce your roster still.
And there's belief from at least the West Virginia side of things that Zach Alley might be headed that way. We haven't reported anything, obviously, because we're still skeptical, still trying to work it. I haven't been able to get anything confirmed either way.
Multiple reports in West Virginia,
but the West Virginia,
he's the top candidate.
Yeah, the West Virginia side, it says that at least we know that Zach Alley is the top candidate. So then you look forward to today, like a guy like Jaron Kanak. I hate to pick on certain guys. He's been in the program for 3 years. He looks like the same guy. He can't play linebacker, not at this level.
He was on the field for the 95-yard touchdown.
Yeah, you look at there were good moments by this defense, absolutely. There were also 143 of Navy's 318 yards came on 3 plays, and 2 of the 3 were absolute backbreakers. Yeah. So that's got to fix, and it's not like they've landed another corner to help them out yet. It's puzzling what Oklahoma has done thus far to address their needs in the transfer portal. And at this point, does anyone, let us know in the comments section, does anyone have faith in this coaching staff to fix it with what you've seen out of 3 years? They became the first coaching staff since 1996, a year ago, their 10-3 season, the first coaching staff since 1996 to beat Texas and not make the Big 12 championship game.
Yeah.
The only one ever to do it. Now, there would have been one when the Big 12 championship game was gone, but it's only happened 2 times since 96 that you beat Texas, don't make the Big 12 championship game, and that's the good year for this coaching staff.
Right, yeah, that's the 10-2 year. I don't know where they go from here. They've got so many holes to fill. You like to think, and we've heard the narrative all season long, and we're probably going to go long here on this one, but it is what it is. It's 6-7. The season is finally over. We can go long if we want to. Here we go. Brent Venables has talked for most of the last 2 years about how the defense is better. The defense has gotten better. The defense has gotten better. Guess what? Your best linebacker and your best safety graduated onto the NFL. You saw a little bit of what the defense is going to look like in 2025 out here today. I think, you can't stop an option team from running the option. You can't stop an option team from throwing the football, getting 65 yards on a couple of completions that completely shocked you. You saw the defensive back dive into the backfield while his receiver just ran completely uncovered behind him for right off the snap of the ball. There are holes in this program from the top down. There are holes in the offense. We've seen that all season long. And there are holes in the defense, guys. The defense has improved, and Brent mentioned it again today. I don't need to mention what the defense has looked like for the last decade, but he did for about the 8th time this season. He mentioned it again today. And frankly, the defense did not show me much this season. You take an All-American, first-team All-American, a consensus All-American, Danny Stutzman and Billy Bowman off the field, 4-year starter at safety. You take those guys off the field, we're kind of looking at what the defense looks like today.
We can go through it line by line if you want to, but the huge performances, they did a pretty good job against Tennessee. Now, they were aided by Tennessee shutting it down. That performance looks less and less dominant as the year went on for Tennessee. Yep. Auburn stinks. Defense played great. Won in the football game. Gold star. Same with Alabama. Doesn't stink. Defense won in the football game. Gold star. Mm-hmm. You put the defense on the field. I know that they got the scoop and score in Columbia to put Oklahoma in front, but you put the defense on the field saying you have to stop a backup quarterback, Drew Pine, one drive to end the game. What happens? March down the field, ties the game. That allows Shaq Star to fumble and lose the game.
Yep.
That's that defense, right?
Same defense.
LSU, receivers running open all over the place. And this year, there were a couple times. The 3rd and 1 pass that Horvath hit for, it should have been a touchdown. It ended up just being a 23-yard completion, I believe. What happened the second they lined up in 3rd and 1 at that area of the field? In the press box, me, an idiot, turns to John Hoover and says, well, they got 2 shots at this. Why not throw the ball here? Play action, see if you can hit a big one. And if not, you got the fullback dive. If I knew that, you know that Zach Alley and Brent Venables, they're not coaching them to just forget everything and
The
sprint
only
in there.
person in the stadium that didn't know it was coming was Peyton Bowen.
Yeah, if we knew that, the coaching staff knew that, obviously, and you saw what played out. The offense has been so bad that this defense has to be perfect, and it's not. It's not close.
Yeah,
it's a lot better. It's really good. It is really, really good. But we're talking about Oklahoma standards, and you just finished 6-7, and with the FCS All-Stars coming in, plus John Mateer, to help your offense, I know that Ben Arbuckle is going to be better than Seth Luttrell, but what does he have to work with? This is not – the roster is not good on offense. It's not. Go line it up yourself. It's not a talented group from what we've seen.
That's why I picked Navy to win this game. I just think Navy has better football players. Better athletes? No. Better football players? Yes. More well coached, more disciplined. We talked about this yesterday. I think that showed up at the end. Sooners finished the season 6-7. It's a 21-20 loss. Oklahoma Sooners on SI is where you're going to find all of our post-game coverage, all the content that you're going to want. Post-game press conference, post-game interviews. This thing here, we're going to go up. We're going to record the Sooners on SI podcast after we're done here. Bunch more stories coming today, including maybe some insight from West Virginia on Zach Alley. Look for all that stuff. Where are you going to find it? Oklahoma Sooners on SI.com. Last time for Ryan Chapman, I'm John Hoover. See you guys.